Hello, everyone. So it's been about 3 weeks now since I've done any sort of full court runs in basketball and anything like that. That's for a bunch of various reasons. Either the school cancels our rental, or I'm just not able to get those days to rent out the gym. But, anyways, in the meantime, I thought it might be fun, or maybe not fun. It'll be fun for me, just to kind of look back on all the shoes I've owned. It's been like 3 years now since I've played basketball, and there's such a big culture around hoop shoes. So naturally, I've gone through quite a handful, actually, perhaps more than I should. But there actually were these periods of times where I was playing like a lot of basketball, so maybe it makes sense to have it. Anyways, I just thought it'd be fun to kind of look back at all the shoes I've owned. So these are the first ever shoes that I've ever owned, the Kyrie 2s. Funny story about these, I actually got them way before I started playing basketball. So I bought them, and then it was maybe 3 years, I think, before I actually started using them. But I got them because I was just strolling through Sports Authority, which at the time was going out of business. So everything was on clearance, and I actually was able to find these shoes for like $40. No idea how much they were supposed to be at the time, but yeah, so I found them, and I like kind of watch basketball a little bit, but I did happen to see those advertisements of Uncle Drew, and I thought that was hilarious. So saw these and ended up getting them, and then I maybe like 3 times a year I was invited to play basketball with someone, and then I had these shoes handy and I could wear them. And yeah, I mean, I didn't really know what I was doing on the court at the time, but they seemed fine, and they fit well enough. So yeah, they were good enough for me. The second pair of shoes that I ever owned were these Jordan Zoom Separates. They were technically not the second pair of shoes that I ordered. That will come after this. Those were a Chinese brand. And I ordered those from a site called Famuji. It's some like Asian, website that sells basketball shoes and stuff. And just shipping would take forever with them. So I ended up getting these during that waiting time because I just wanted a new shoe besides the Kyries to play in. And these, after my research, I found were a pretty good budget shoes, and I also wanted to separate indoor shoes from basketball shoes because I was just starting to get into basketball, and I was starting to do some like outdoor drills, and I wanted to separate my indoor shoes from my outdoor shoes. So these are what I found that were a good budget pair, and yeah, they were really good. They were in the toe box. They were really comfortable, and it's like soft in the front and flexible. It fit really well. I honestly wore them for a really long time, and the treads on the bottom were pretty much flat. But yeah, I mean, the best thing about them was just the fit. And in fact, I kind of want to show you. I have this photo of my foot, actually. So here is said picture of my foot. Here's me using a Brannick device. So I'm technically a 10.5. My right foot comes in at a length of 9.5, but my arch makes it at 10.5. And if you want to look closely, you can. But basically, the width is technically a D, which is considered normal width. And I believe the measures are pretty similar for my left foot as well. Here, I'm even down to 9 at the length. But still, the arch comes to 10.5. But one thing I learned recently, it's kind of hard to tell here, but I realized that I have a bit of something that I think is called a tailor's bunion. So I think that just means that even though I technically have normal width feet, I do need a little extra space on the width just to deal with that little bunion. And yeah, just these Zoom Separates, they felt like they were, wide enough or soft enough, and they just felt really comfortable for that. The next shoe that I got, as I said, Chinese brand, this one, the Klay Thompson 7s. I am a sucker for blue shoes, especially this light blue color, and I really like the gradient as it shifts to pink. I don't know if I would ever get pink on its own, but just this kind of, I guess, cotton candy look. I think it's called, the colorway is called Los Angeles. But yeah, I just thought it looked really cool. Also, Klay Thompson at the time was recovering from all his injuries, and I wasn't recovering at the time, but I had torn my ATFL, which is just a ligament in my ankle, and that was kind of quite a whiles back, but as I was getting into basketball, I was starting to feel like the discomfort from that was kind of coming back. So I really wanted to find a shoe that would have good ankle support or like some sort of stability, or just help me to not re-injure myself. And after a lot of research, a lot of people were saying that this shoe is really sturdy, and there's like a plate in the back which is supposed to be like bulletproof or something. I don't really know what that does, but I think this shoe was constructed for Klay Thompson, and it just kind of made me feel reassured that since he's coming off an injury, maybe this should be safe for me to wear as well. The sad thing is, really early in, maybe like 2 or 3 months in, I got some separation right here, where the sole and the top started separating. I needed to buy some shoe glue to attach it. But I still wore these for quite a long time. And the weird thing is that even though it's a Chinese brand, these shoes are actually pretty narrow for me. I think I got true to size. I wish I could. Oh yes, 10 and a half. I got true to size. But these happen to feel a little narrow. But I think the problem is that I realized I needed to restart wearing orthotics and or inserts. So see, I even have my what are these called? My Game Day Pros in here, and I have a bunch of different insoles because I was trying out different ones. But that would make my shoes fit tighter. And I think when I was wearing this without the insoles, they fit perfectly. But yeah, with my foot raised a little bit higher, then yeah, I could definitely feel the discomfort in this area where my tailor's bunion is. But yeah, I still wear these for outdoors now, actually. And the tread is still not too bad. I think I could still wear it for a good amount of time. But yeah, this was like $160 at the time, I think. And I usually, I'm a pretty frugal person, so it took me a little while to decide, you know what, I'm playing so much basketball now, I think it's worth it to just, go all in for a shoe that I think will be good quality. But yeah, too bad about the ripping on this part. The next shoe I got is this one. It's the JLIN, Jeremy Lin 2 SE. I got this because I am Taiwanese and Jeremy Lin is Taiwanese, and I just thought it was really cool that he had his own shoe. And this one actually I saw was getting pretty good reviews. I think his JLIN 2 and JLIN 1s were only so-so, and then these were considered a budget pair of shoes that were like really good bang for your buck type of thing. Once again, you can see it's kind of hard to see, I guess, but there's kind of some coloring from purple to blue again, and I really like just that color scheme. Kind of just bright colors in general, I'm kind of a sucker for. But yeah, Jeremy Lin, I really admire his faith as well, and I, again, wasn't really watching basketball during Linsanity. It is just something that I kind of was hearing about and thought, oh, that's pretty cool. Taiwanese guy is popping off in the NBA. And only later did I kind of look back and be like, wow, that was pretty amazing. So yeah, ended up seeing that he had a shoe line and that this one's pretty good. The sad thing about this is that the reviews were telling me to size down, and also that it was narrow. But I think at the time I had just taken that photo of my foot that I showed you guys with the Brannick device, and it was telling me that my foot was normally sized. So I went with the device size down, but I think I should have just stayed true to size. It does indeed fit narrow, but yeah, now I know that, because I need to remember that I'm wearing insoles, so these shoes are not going to fit as people recommend. And the special sad thing is there's this like plastic piece right here, and this would keep pressing on the side of my foot. So it eventually broke in, and now I don't think I really noticed it. But yeah, I probably will start using these for outdoors just because I think they're not quite as worn out as the KT7s. And they still fit okay as long as I use kind of my smaller insoles. And here I have my Super Feet orange insoles. They fit a little flatter than the Game Day Pros. But yeah, they felt pretty good. I think this was my first shoe that I realized I should start caring about traction a little more. It does have a silent squeak, and I do think it was good enough, but especially at the gyms I was playing at, I realized I need to find a shoe that deals with dust pretty well, and I think this was not quite it, but I think reviews were also saying that this was pretty good for people who need some extra stability and support though. But yeah, it's still a fun shoe to play in, and kind of just think about the reasons why I got it in the first place too. The next shoe I got, finally an American brand, the Two-Way V3. This is probably by far my favorite shoe that I've ever gotten. It was budget. New Balance was starting to make some waves in hoop shoes. It pretty much has all the same tech as like all the other big brands, Nike, Adidas, whatever. I also was learning about outsoles and translucent versus rubber, and learned that people tend to prefer translucent outsoles for indoor shoes. It gave me a really loud squeak. It stopped so fast, and it felt just really comfortable. Really, the sizing was really friendly to my foot as well. There was this weird lacing thing, I think because it's trying to account for this end design, that this lace is like sticking out on the inside. So I actually had to put some shoe tape on the inside just so it doesn't chafe my foot. But yeah, I've played in this shoe so much. I don't know if you can tell, but it is like really beat up. And that's why I wanted to make this video before I either donate it or just throw it away or whatever. But yeah, definitely my favorite shoe. Definitely played the most out of all the shoes that I've played in. And yeah, sad. It's actually not too long ago that I was playing in these. Maybe like just a few months really. And the reason I got these actually is I think I got it right after the Denver Nuggets won the championship. And I was just wondering if Jamal Murray had a shoe. And because Jokic didn't have a shoe at the time. I think he has his first one coming out soon, actually. But yeah, Jamal Murray didn't have a shoe, but he did have a colorway. And honestly, I don't even know why this is referencing Jamal Murray. It says Spin Cycle on here. I guess he has. I tried to look it up. I saw some like layups where he's like doing a 360 jump. Or maybe it's like his spin move is like one of his go-to moves. I don't know. Anyways, I thought he played really well that entire playoffs, and just thought it'd be cool to have a shoe that's related to him. And just, I think New Balance has kind of slept on as far as shoes go. And they have a lot of great tech, and it's really cheap because people don't know that they're good. So yeah, that's my favorite shoe. And next, the next shoe is just the newer version of the Two-Way V3s. These are the Two-Way V4s. I also got these on clearance. These were maybe like $60, I think. Yeah, I think I was starting to feel some pops or something in the Two-Way V3, so I was trying to get it again, but I couldn't find it in stock anymore, so ended up getting these. I've only worn these a couple times. Unfortunately, I feel like the sizing does not feel the same. It does feel a little more narrow and tight on my feet. They still have the translucent thing on half the shoe, and then the other half is rubber. I do think that's pretty cool. The stability feels a bit better. If I feel like more containment in I feel better containment in this one. But yeah, just the sizing is really what disappoints me. Definitely after like my 1 to 2 hour sessions of playing in it, then my foot just starts feeling sore, especially in the toes. It did feel a lot better after breaking it in. So I don't think I really got sore the last time I played in it. But yeah, I've been kind of, I can still wear these, but I've been kind of playing in the next shoe that I'm about to show you right now. So the shoe I'm currently playing in is the Lebron 21s. I once again got these because they were on clearance, and I didn't think I would get this Lebron shoe because, to be honest, I think the suede look that they ended up going with looks really ugly. But from far away, you can't really tell. And funny enough, I have some friends who are like, hey, Steven, for some reason in your lace videos with your black shoes, you look like a hooper. So I guess that's a good thing. But yeah, these feel honestly really good. I don't know if you can tell, but they're like really wide right at this, at the bunion spots. I wonder if that's on purpose. So they're definitely really comfortable. I think that's also because they're made out of this suede maybe, or just they feel like they have a lot of cushion. Traction feels great, containment feels great, and even with my insole, it still feels like it fits great. So yeah, I've worn these like 3 or 4 times, but yeah, this is kind of my go-to shoe right now to play in. And lastly, the last shoe, I actually bought this before I bought the Lebrons, but the Curry 11s, once again on clearance. As you can tell, I'm kind of just a frugal guy when it comes to shoes. But you know, Curry, honestly, one of the reasons I got into basketball is because I started listening to this podcast called Thinking Basketball, and he talks about basketball and gives his commentary and thoughts, but a lot of it's from the background of a statistics guy, I guess, or maybe honestly like a philosophy guy. Anyways, I guess to these like statistics guys, Curry is just like, you know, statistics guys love Curry. And you know, he obviously, being a Warriors fan, I knew that I wanted to get a Curry shoe eventually, but it's disappointing that ever since the Curry 7, people have just been saying that, like, man, it's so boring, it's always the same shoe. Even this 11 is not very different from the 7. They're just trying to make profit off of the flow material, and also, unfortunately, flow is apparently really bad on dusty courts, which is what I primarily play on. So these, they'll be sticky for a few steps, and they'll be really sticky. But then, yeah, after just a few steps of picking up dust, then they're just really slippery. I'd like to try them some more still, though. And funny enough, the first time I played in them, my feet were starting to feel achy, just like on my heel and on my arch. But I think that's probably just because of break-in time. But I sized up half a size in these, and that feels perfect for my foot, despite, you know, just the shape of my foot. But yeah, half a size up feels perfect for me. But I definitely do feel like cooler just because, you know, it's a Curry shoe. And I guess I didn't say this for the LeBron shoe, but I mean, I guess he's cool, but obviously he's kind of the rival of Curry, so I was doing my best to not get his shoe. But it was on sale, and I heard good things about it, and even though I didn't like the look, I thought it'd be worth trying out, especially with me feeling sore from the 2 V5s. So yeah, that's all the shoes I've ever owned. I hope you thought this video was somewhat interesting. I'll be back to playing tomorrow, and hopefully I'll see you in the next basketball video next week. See you guys. Okay, ready? Go. Yay!